Tonight on CTV News at 6, 7 years for killing a father of 7. Sentencing in a stranger attack near an LRT station. A police investigation after 9 years of fundraising goes up in flames.
We will rebuild. We won't leave it like this.
And a progress check on Waukwatowan's big pit.
It's a staple for the community. Like, you walk by, you have Paul Kane, you have all these great parks, and then you have the pit.
Just slightly cooler than average for the rest of this week, with daytime highs stuck in the low 20s.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. A man who killed an Edmonton father at an LRT station 2 years ago has been sentenced to 7 years in prison. The court heard the deadly attack was not the man's first crime against strangers at transit stations. Amanda Anderson reports.
It was July 2023 at the Belvedere Transit Station. A man who'd fled violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo for the safety of Canada was approached by a stranger and stabbed in the chest. 52-year-old Rukanisha Hundabatware, a father of 7, died of his injuries. Today, the man responsible was in court. Jamal Wheeler was originally charged with second-degree murder, but pleaded guilty to the lesser manslaughter charge last November. The Crown wanted a sentence of 7 to 9 years, while the defense said 5 or 6 years would be more appropriate. The court heard from Hundabatware's son, David, who says his life is not the same, that he lives in constant fear, especially near public transit, and has trouble sleeping. Whenever I try to rest, I see the face of the man who killed my father, he said. Wheeler's criminal record was entered as an exhibit showing a history of attacks on transit users, including a robbery with an axe, punching someone who then fell onto the tracks, and another incident where 3 people were bear sprayed. Before sentencing, Wheeler apologized for his actions, saying he regrets what happened. After a short break, the justice addressed Wheeler, saying, "This is not the first time the court has dealt with you." He then spoke about the seriousness of his crime and impact on the community and transit users. They have the right not to have their head on a swivel, not worried about what is going to happen, the justice said before sentencing Wheeler to 7 years. Hundabatware's family was too upset for an interview, but tells CTV News they'd hoped for a longer sentence and worry Wheeler will continue to be a risk to the public. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
An Edmonton community is pledging to rebuild a playground destroyed by a fire police call suspicious.
We will rebuild. We won't leave it like this.
The playground near St. Pius Catholic Elementary School went up in flames Saturday. Construction was finished last year after nearly a decade of fundraising by a parent group. The St. Pius Ex-Parent Association says the playground cost more than $600,000. The Sherbrooke Community League and the Parent Association have set up a fundraiser aiming to collect $50,000 to help rebuild the park.
We all work together through the Parents Association to raise the funds to build the park. The Parents Association does such amazing work to make this happen. People know how much work went into it, and so to see it destroyed this year is such a loss.
Police say no one was hurt in the fire and the school was not affected. For information on the rebuilding plans and how to donate, visit ctvnewsedmonton.ca and click on News Links. A large construction site in the Waukwatowan neighbourhood was supposed to be home to a 22-story residential tower last year. It has since become a large pit. Here's CTV's Connor Hogg with a look at construction progress.
The Waukwatowan neighbourhood in the city's core is home to several local landmarks, including this large, skyscraper-sized hole in the ground.
It's an eyesore.
It's just like the silliest thing to have this massive pit in the middle of downtown.
It's a staple for the community. Like, you walk by, you have Paul Kane, you have all these great parks, and then you have the pit.
The pit is meant to be home to the Jameson Tower, a 22-story residential building. Ground broke in 2021, but construction stalled, leaving a gaping hole. The developer, Vancouver-based Open Sky Developments, tells CTV the site was for sale at one point, but isn't anymore. It still fully intends to build the Jameson and says it's waiting for the right circumstances to do so.
Yeah, we have it going. We want to know the dates. the date construction is going to start and completion.
It's the bids.
The Wequentuin pit isn't the only one in Edmonton, and Ward Papasteo councillor Michael Jans says they're no laughing matter. He says if left unattended, they can be dangerous and can drag neighborhoods down.
If you're going to demolish a building, if you're going to dig a pit, finish the job, get the job done. Ultimately, we want to see more houses, more buildings, and more construction. None of us want to see half-empty pits.
Jan says the city is working to expand its problem property rules to commercial zones, which would penalize builders that leave sites like this unfinished.
Higher taxes, more fines, more penalties, as both to hold the developers accountable, but also provide a positive incentive to, if you're going to go through demolition, you better be serious about construction.
Surveyors were on site today in Wequentuin, but they could not confirm if their presence means construction will resume soon. Some say the pit has been here so long, it would be a little sad to see it go.
Yeah, there would be a void, for sure. Like, it would be a void from our void.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A boater who died on Lesser Slave Lake this weekend is being remembered as a friend to many. Family has identified the father of 5 as Cole Cunningham. Police say a group of boaters became stranded Friday night on Lesser Slave Lake when their boat floated away. When the 39-year-old tried to get the boat, he was swept underwater. Police say many locals joined in the search for the missing man.
The family of each of the boaters were there in the area helping. There was the local helicopter pilot. There was some fishermen with sonar that were going through the area as well.
Cunningham's body was recovered on Saturday. Neighbors say they feel safer now that a drug house in southeast Edmonton has been shut down. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, they say their complaints paid off.
Pauline Wilson is finally breathing a sigh of relief when she leaves her home in Millwoods. 2 doors down, Alberta sheriffs have shut down a longtime drug house.
I feel like I can actually feel safe going for a walk, whereas before I wasn't too certain because I use a walker.
In the last decade, police have visited this problem property 256 times. Police say the house has become a hub for illegal drug trafficking and abuse. Wilson says it brought unwanted visitors to the area.
I would see them going by and making noises and yelling and screaming over there, and it was just really, really frightening for me.
Neighbors on this street started a petition to have the house looked into. Police say complaints in the area all said the same thing.
We're hearing intimidation, fear, anxiety, steps that people have taken to secure their own property.
One neighbor across the street says his wife finally feels comfortable leaving her car parked out front.
I'm safe now. It's better than before. We are not scared like car we was parking back, but now we put it there.
Edmonton Police and the Sheriff's Safer Communities and Neighborhoods Unit say they've tried to work with the owner over the years to drop the drug activity. Councillor Karen Tang says it's important neighbors report any suspicious activity.
In fact, I still remember this phone call I had with a resident that was actually really disturbing.
There were 2 fatal drug overdoses at the house in 2022. Now shut down, the property will be closed for 90 days, with community safety order conditions in effect until October 8th.
We're happy to give them the freedom to have a healthy and safe summer without the criminal activities happening at the house.
It's going to make the neighborhood a lot more peaceful, a lot more safe, I think.
The owner of the house plans to sell the property, making room for a fresh start. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton police are warning of the sale of synthetic opioids that resemble a name-brand anti-anxiety medication. Edmonton police say officers intercepted a package last month with hundreds of pills that looked like Xanax. The pills were sent out for testing. Police say they were made of a highly potent opioid. The pills have an Onax imprint on one side and a number 2 on the other. EPS is reminding people medications that aren't prescribed to you directly by a medical professional are never safe to take. RCMP have taken nearly 200 grams of fentanyl off the streets after a traffic stop near Thorsby. RCMP say officers in Wetaskiwin followed people they called known drug dealers to a home in Thorsby. After leaving the house, officers stopped their vehicle and searched it. RCMP say suspected fentanyl was found as well as pepper spray. A day later, officers searched the home in Thorsby where they found another 141 grams of fentanyl. They also found meth, cocaine, and rifles. 2 people are facing charges. AHS has confirmed a recent water quality water quality advisory for the Sturgeon River was put in place because of a sewage leak. The advisory about high levels of fecal bacteria was first issued back in April. AHS says a pipeline carrying wastewater began leaking sewage. While the effects of the runoff have dissipated, the area around Rivercrest still has high levels of fecal bacteria. AHS says you should not swim or wade near Benoit Bridge. The advisory has been lifted for the area of the river northeast of Ray Gibbon Drive Bridge downstream. Alberta NDP leader Naheed Nenshi was sworn in as an MLA today.
Thank you. Now that Her Honor signed the book, MLA Nenshi, congratulations, Mr. Speaker.
Nenshi won a by-election in June in the Edmonton-Strathcona riding. The former mayor of Calgary will lead the opposition when the legislature resumes this fall. NDP MLA Gurtej Singh Brar was also sworn in as the MLA for Edmonton-Ellerslie. The Edmonton Oilers have hired 3 new coaches for next season. Peter Aubry replaces Dustin Schwartz as the Oilers' goaltending coach. Paul McFarland will coach the team's forwards and power play. Connor Allen will help the players develop their skills but won't be behind the bench during games. Current assistant coach Mark Stewart will take over for Paul Coffey as the defense and penalty kill coach. Coffey will remain with the Oilers as a special advisor. Head coach Chris Knobloch says he learned a lot from Coffey.
Here's a guy that's been a part of the game for so long, whether it's been a player or part of management or just a spectator, and having a good feel for the game on what needs to be addressed, and a lot of it on what needs to be addressed from a player's perspective, on what they need to hear and what we need to do to allow them to be successful.
Former Oilers assistant coach Glenn Gulletson is now the head coach of the Dallas Stars. The Oilers' former skills coach David Peltier is joining him as an assistant. An Edmonton organization is helping provide services to the city while also giving people a second chance at employment. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, the odd jobs are life-changing.
Virgil Grandbois' favorite job with Higher Good is to clean the streets he once lived on.
Because it made me feel good. When other people come up and say, hey, you're doing a good job, you know, it makes me feel good. We're making a difference on the street.
Grandbois has been working with Higher Good for 3.5 years. Since then, he's been able to gain independence and pay his bills.
I didn't live a very good life. I was homeless for a number of years.
Higher Good is a social enterprise that employs people who face barriers such as homelessness and drug addiction.
A lot of our people, when they first walked in the door, no one's going to hire them, but we did. And then we teach. Okay, well, we got to have a clean shirt and clean clothes, and we got to do this, and we got to be presentable when we go.
Employees like Grandbois fill contracts in the city and help with litter pickup, junk removal, and more. This weekend, they'll be on staff for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. The crews on the ground not only help the community, but have become one.
What do you like about working here?
Family. Everybody's family. Everybody's knows, helps you out a lot. I love seeing everyone that I around the neighborhood that I grew up in get help.
Higher Good says their employees feel pride in their work, which is giving them a fresh start.
We had someone who maybe couldn't read a schedule, and now he hasn't missed one day of work in 2 years. So it's pretty cool, just having faith in people.
Something Grandbois hopes to give while meeting people at work.
I'm always encouraging them to take a different route. If they're going down a bad road, go to try something else.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, Josh, sunshine on the way.
Yeah, I saw a few sunny breaks this afternoon, but there's a lot more of that on the way through the day tomorrow. Temperatures maybe a degree warmer than today. We'll get to 21 for a daytime high. We're at 20 in downtown Edmonton right now, 18s and 19s outside the city. Wind hasn't been all that bad. At times earlier today, it was a little blustery, but for most of this afternoon, it's been about 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. 24 degrees is the average daytime high. So 3 degrees below average today, and it actually looks like for most of this week, temperatures will be slightly cooler than average. And as we mentioned right off the top of the newscast, somewhere in the low 20s for afternoon highs. Here's what it looks like outside right now with the CTV drone. It was a cloudy start to the day, but there's the sun breaking through the clouds through this afternoon and as we head into this evening. Should be a beautiful evening here in the Edmonton area. A little different story further to the south where Calgary got pounded with a severe thunderstorm yesterday. Toonie-sized hail, heavy rain still falling, especially south of Calgary. Rainfall warnings remain in effect there. Here in Edmonton, little showers there. You can see off to the southwest of the city. They all kind of slid past the west end of Edmonton, and they're moving from north to south. Those will not back up and move into the Edmonton region. They're going to continue to drop off to the south. You can see it's nothing but clear skies north of us, so more clearing on the way through this evening and overnight. Tonight, sunshine and a cool morning, just 9 degrees to start, but up to about 22 tomorrow afternoon. Should see temperatures again in the low 20s on Wednesday, but maybe some increased wildfire smoke in the area. We'll talk more about that in a couple minutes.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, medical record mix-up.
As I read further down, I noticed that there was another patient's name.
2 Albertans say their privacy has been breached. Also next.
Knocked one of my trees down, and the backyard just looks like a war zone.
Cleanup begins after Calgary is hammered by a summer storm.
James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Two Albertans say their privacy has been breached after their personal health information was shared during a records mix-up by the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta. The college says while it is a rare situation, it's a concerning one. It was only made aware of the breach this morning by CTV News. As CTV's Tyson Fedor reports, an investigation is now underway.
It was not how Tiffany Matson and Curtis Thiessen planned to meet.
It's signed by the hearings director, but the information is not my information. It's his information.
Last week, Matson was awaiting a board decision from the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta for a complaint that she had filed against a medical professional. Instead, she received a cover letter with her information, but the decision for someone else's case.
Once I moved on to the second page, I started to notice they were talking about a physician that was not the physician in which I had a complaint about. And as I read further down, I noticed that there was another patient's name. This was not my decision. This was not my appeal. This had nothing to do with me.
That person was Thiessen. So Matson sought him out to deliver his personal medical information. Thiessen also received his decision by mail, but was stunned to see a copy had also gone to Matson.
When you get a cold call like that, someone's asking about personal information, it's kind of like, who are you? I was rather kind of taken aback by that. I was like, that's my personal and private information.
Thiessen questions how this happened and now worries about other medical mix-ups.
It's an egregious mistake, right? And I think somebody needs to know exactly right now what's going on, because how many other victims are there out there?
In 2024, there were 10 reported privacy breaches to the college, none that met the privacy commissioner's reporting requirements.
If this is a part of a broader pattern, or there are other individuals affected, then that's where potentially there'd be a role for the privacy commissioner to review the information handling practices of the college and to make recommendations.
Matson complained to the college and finally received her report late Monday afternoon by email. She's still unsure where her mailed copy might be.
I'm terrified of where my information is. This is really confidential information that I don't want out there floating around.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Alberta now has more cases of measles than the entirety of the United States. Alberta Health recorded 30 new cases since Friday, bringing the province-wide total to 1,314. Across the U.S., there are a total 1,288 cases. The CDC updates the number every Wednesday, so this number represents how many cases there were 5 days ago. Provincial data shows 87% of people who've been infected across Alberta are unvaccinated. Alberta Health Services says the measles vaccine is highly effective at preventing infection and complications. It is free. A dose needs to be given within 72 hours of exposure to prevent measles. A Western Alberta municipal district is seeking provincial aid after declaring an agricultural disaster. The MD of Greenview includes Grand Cache, Fox Creek, and Valley View. The council says unexpected drought conditions, lack of hay, and infestation of grasshoppers is catastrophic for livestock. It says it's also taking a toll on people's mental health.
Now we're into 25 and already we're only in July and it's early. Crops are failing. It's not looking good. So that all weighs on everybody's, when that's your livelihood, it's huge.
Greenview says it wants financial help from the province to support the farmers and recognize the issue at large. We've reached out to the province and are waiting for a response. It has been less than a year since a destructive hailstorm hit Calgary. So when another massive hailstorm blew through the city last night, it had a lot of people worried. While this storm made a mess out of trees and gardens, most cars and houses were unscathed. CTV's Kevin Green reports.
This is what it looked like as hail poured from the sky Sunday night. And this is what it sounded like as hailstones the size of loonies whacked into houses in Mount Pleasant. For the most part, the houses and cars were spared damage, at least from the hail. But the wind felled this 20-meter-tall green ash tree, toppling it onto Aaron Stevens' camperized minivan.
You think maybe a branch here or there might come down, or, yeah, you expect some hail damage, but no, I've not seen a huge tree like this just snap.
The hardest hit areas were in northwest Calgary. The hail cut through gardens like a combine and stripped branches off trees.
With that hail and all that, you couldn't even see probably 10 feet in front of you. Just, yeah. It come up so fast, 5 minutes it took.
Just kind of out of nowhere, the wind picked up and just huge hailstones start coming down, and yeah, just kind of caught everybody off guard. A couple of trees went down in the neighborhood, and yeah, just lots of damage, that's for sure.
Oh, the wind has come in like 60, 70 mile an hour or more, I guess. Knocked one of my trees down, and the backyard just looks like a war zone now.
Leaving residents like Shauna Langenberger cleaning up between breaks in Monday's continuing rainfall.
Trees are just shredded. Our spruce trees, which are, 50 years old, probably 50% of the volume of the tree is now laying on the ground. And so we're out here doing a big cleanup. It's devastating.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Still ahead, golf history in Kananaskis.
At first I was kind of like, oh yay, great. And then everyone was like, oh my God.
A staff member nails an ace in her first ever round of golf. And
the first harvests have been radishes, kale, lettuce, leafy greens.
How a new program is providing fresh produce while teaching people new skills.
Starting to see a little bit of clearing out there late this afternoon. We'll see a lot more of the sunshine tomorrow, and temperatures again in the low 20s. We'll talk more about that and the risk of smoke for Wednesday right after the break.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Brought to you by Federated Co-ops. Find your summer sweepstakes. Unlock your chances to win at your local co-op.
It is something all golfers dream of, and one young woman did it on her very first round. Emma Strong recently got a hole-in-one on the Kananaskis golf course. The moment was posted on the golf course's social media pages. Strong came from Manchester to work at the golf course's snack shack for the summer. A friend convinced her to play around. Strong got a hole-in-one on the par 3 third hole on the Mount Lorette course.
At first I was kind of like, oh yay, great. And then everyone was like, oh my God, like my friend Emily, she cried. And I was just like, what? Why are you crying? And then, yeah, I just kind of thought everyone got a hole-in-one, like maybe every few rounds. Like I don't golf and none of my family golf, so.
Emma says the rest of her round was terrible. She played another round since, which was unimpressive. And Josh, you have something to say about all
It's not fair.
It's not. It's really not.
That happens once every 2 or 3 rounds.
She's done now. She's conquered golf. She can move on to the next sport.
She is from the home of golf, so it does make sense that she would be naturally good at it. Take a look outside right now. Action Furnace, River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. 20 degrees. In Edmonton, as skies continue to clear, we got to 21 for a high earlier today. A little cooler in Fort McMurray at 17. It was 23 in Grand Prairie and Red Deer with about 25 millimeters of rain 15. A little cooler. Most of that rain looks like it's moved out of the area now. Still some heavy rain, still some rainfall warnings in effect, as well as some air quality advisories across parts of southern Alberta. You have some showers here off to the southwest of the Edmonton region, but you can see that band developed and moved south. So this is not going to push back into the Edmonton region. We'll see clear skies overnight tonight. Sunshine through the day tomorrow. A little bit of cloud cover late tomorrow afternoon in through the Peace Country. And then watch this low pressure system start to develop off to the northwest. That will bring some increased cloud cover through Wednesday. I think a mix of sun and cloud to partly cloudy skies for Wednesday. Showers, maybe a few thunderstorms in through the foothills Wednesday afternoon. And as that system continues to track off to the southeast, late in the day Thursday, we might see a few showers or thunderstorms in the Edmonton area. We're dry for tomorrow and Wednesday, though. The other thing this low is going to do, it's going to swing the wind direction around. So we talked about the air quality advisory for southeastern Alberta. That was in place in Cold Lake earlier today. The worst of the air quality is pushed off to the south into southeastern Alberta. Northwestern Alberta, you have a bit of smoke as well. Watch what happens, though. By Wednesday, this is still Tuesday afternoon, smoke in the northwest, nothing for Edmonton. Off to the northwest, though, there's that low starting to lurk and drawing the wind back in from the south-southeast. And so, as long as that smoke is still sticking around in southeastern Alberta Wednesday morning, by Wednesday afternoon, we may see it actually push back through the Edmonton region. Haven't had to deal with a whole lot in the way of wildfire smoke here in the city at all this summer, but Wednesday, this is an early heads up. The air quality could get a little funky. 16 degrees in Fort McMurray, 23 in Grand Prairie. It's 15 in Red Deer right now, and 20 in downtown Edmonton with a low risk on the air quality health index. And that'll be the case again tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll update you on the situation for Wednesday, but could get into the moderate risk range. 9 degrees tomorrow morning, so a cool start to the day. Up to 22 with light wind and sunshine tomorrow afternoon. Not only that chance of some wildfire smoke in the afternoon Wednesday, but windy as well. We'll see gusts in the 30 or 40 kilometer per hour range. Thursday, high of about 22 with the chance of a late day shower. So low 20s here for the next 3 days. Low to maybe mid 20s. Friday, Saturday, late Sunday, you get a chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm. All the way through to July 24th, though. Look at these daytime highs. About 20 to 25. You compare that to average, and it's around or slightly below average almost right through to that last week of July. So if you like these seasonal temperatures, you're loving this next week and a half. If you wanted some 28 to 32 degree heat, hey, you might have to wait till the end of July or early August.
Thank you, Josh. The Alberta Avenue Community Centre has created a new program aiming to address food insecurity and teach people new skills. As Merrick Takash reports, the program is bringing people together while giving back to others.
Jacob Ulicki started working at the Alberta Avenue Community Garden 4 months ago.
The first harvests have been radishes, kale, lettuce, leafy greens. As the season goes on, we'll have root crops. So pretty much everything that is in here is serving a purpose.
Through his new initiative called Growing Together, Ulicki is helping community members grow their own food and develop practical gardening skills.
There's a lot of food insecurity happening across Edmonton more than ever. Budget challenges, farm closures. So Growing Together is utilizing space that we had in order to provide free food for the community.
Anybody is able to participate in the program by filling out a form on the Community League's website.
It makes the garden look fantastic. It's feeding people. People are excited about it. People are learning things. We have events in our garden space here behind me, and people wander the gardens and look, and they're like, oh, I never thought of that. Oh, that's a good technique. I'll have to do that at home. So people are, just by observing the garden, are learning.
As of right now, 35 families have plots on the outer ring of the garden. The middle area is reserved for the Growing Together project. Like last week, Ulicki is making a stop at Bethel Gospel Chapel, delivering the second Growing Together harvest of the year.
We very seldom get fresh produce, and so whenever we do get it, we're excited to be able to hand that out.
Every Monday, around 200 people use the church's food pantry, a number that rises almost every month.
It goes really fast. People really appreciate it, and it's good to give out something that's fresh and healthy rather than food that comes in cans and boxes.
The new program will see fresh produce donated to food pantries, care homes, and churches throughout the summer. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still ahead, new American aid for Ukraine.
Very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days.
Donald Trump delivers an ultimatum to the Russian president, and the fallout after a Sesame Street character's social media account is compromised.
Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Donald Trump sent Russian President Vladimir Putin a pointed message today, threatening 100% tariffs if the war in Ukraine isn't resolved within the next 50 days. Trump also revealed a deal to supply weapons to Kyiv through NATO. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
I think this is a chance at getting peace.
A bold claim and a big threat.
But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%.
U.S. President Donald Trump hosted NATO top boss Mark Rutte in the Oval Office, promising billions in military equipment, including Patriot missile defense systems purchased from the U.S. by NATO allies.
Germany, massively, but also Finland and Denmark and Sweden and Norway, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Canada. They all want to be part of this.
The Patriot system is viewed as kind of being a top tier one. So not just that he's going to provide support, which is a change in and of itself, but also that he's going to provide support with pretty advanced weaponry is beneficial.
Just ahead of the Oval Office meeting, President Volodymyr Zelensky hosted the U.S. Special Envoy for Ukraine in Kyiv.
Very positive for both countries, and just now we spoke about air defense.
You wouldn't want to be Zelensky in this because you don't know which day, the United States is going to support you. But it's a good news story for helping them thwart the advance.
In terms of sanctions, Russia has already been hit hard, and U.S.-Russia trade is way down. But experts say secondary tariffs on other Russian buyers would make a difference.
When you see the largest importers of China and India being pummeled, that's where it's really going to hit Russia.
Separately, there is a U.S. Senate bill that looks at imposing 500% secondary tariffs on Russia. Trump said today that may not be necessary. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre was in attack mode today, going after the Prime Minister for promises made about his financial assets and potential conflict of interest. Mark Carney has now disclosed a better picture of his investments to the Ethics Commissioner. CTV's Judy Trinh reports.
There is a cornucopia of conflicts of interest in these investments.
The Conservative leader is raising concerns about the Prime Minister's business dealings in his past life. Before entering politics, Mark Carney sat on the boards of Brookfield Asset Management and Stripe, a credit card software company. He has millions of dollars of assets in the two companies, which he put in a blind trust.
I comply with my responsibilities. I comply with the rules well in advance.
New disclosures filed by Carney to the Ethics Commissioner revealed that Brookfield and Stripe own or control more than 100 other corporations, including clean energy businesses and real estate.
The list of potential conflicts goes on and on. How can he possibly be involved in developing a budget when all the tax policies could impact on his investments directly or indirectly?
The Commissioner's office says the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Marc-André Blanchard, and Privy Council Clerk, Michael Sabia, will be in charge of screening Carney's government decisions, which Carney says will prevent him from giving preferential treatment to any of the companies while he exercises his official powers and duties.
As long as they're invested in businesses while they're in public office, their investments will taint every decision and cause them to make decisions in their own interests, even if they claim not to be doing that.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says the only way to ensure that the Prime Minister won't breach his ethical guidelines is for Mark Carney to sell all his assets, then hand over control of the funds to a trustee to invest. Judy Trinh, CTV News, Ottawa.
More people in Manitoba have been forced to leave their homes in a second wave of evacuations this summer.
As of today, there are 122 active fires burning in Manitoba. We've had 297 fires to date, and the 20-year average for today would be 217.
Forced the evacuation of about 1,500 people from the northern Garden Hill First Nation. It's unreachable by road, so they've been flown to Winnipeg with help from the Canadian Forces. Across the country, there are close to 600 wildfires burning right now. Smoke from wildfires is impacting air quality for millions of people. A jet stream is pushing wildfire smoke across parts of the country. The plume blanketing areas of the country from Saskatoon through parts of Manitoba, Ontario, and into Quebec. Air quality in Toronto ranked among the worst in the world. The makers of Sesame Street are confirming Elmo's X account was hacked. The account, which has 650,000 followers, is known for its uplifting posts. That all changed yesterday when a string of anti-Semitic posts appeared on the account of the beloved Sesame Street character. One of the posts also called on Trump to release the Epstein files. The production company behind the series said an unknown hacker gained control of the account. Coming up, obesity rates on the rise.
It's an entire societal issue that we need to take a look at.
Well, a new study suggests restrictions during the COVID-19 pandemic may have had an impact. Plus,
it's been a dream come true for me.
A local pianist returns to the stage 6 years after being paralyzed. Checking on the markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 73 cents to the American dollar. Oil was down more than $1, ending the day at $66.98 U.S. a barrel. Gold lost nearly $5 on the day. The TSX closed up 175 points. The Dow Jones gained 88. A new study of Canadian obesity rates has found the pandemic was not good for waistlines. As CTV's John Venevali-Rao reports, those rates rose faster than in the previous decade, raising concern about long-term health impacts.
During COVID, as lockdowns took hold, this was Ontario's premier offering up his famous cheesecake recipe at a time when plenty of people were turning to comfort foods to help them get through the stresses of the pandemic.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
But the pandemic's disruptions to daily life appear to have taken a serious toll on waistlines, with obesity rates growing faster than they had in the previous decade.
It's an entire societal issue that we need to take a look at and think about what that impact of the pandemic has been for everybody.
The study, led by researchers at McMaster, analyzed data over 15 years from nearly 750,000 adults and was based on the body mass index. It found obesity rates went from 25% in 2009 to nearly 33% by 2023, with the rate of increase doubling during the pandemic to roughly 1 percentage point each year.
Especially for young people and for women, the rates of obesity rose at a much higher rate than for other groups during the pandemic.
Obesity can bring with it a higher risk of serious health issues, such as type 2 diabetes and certain kinds of cancer. It's not certain exactly why the rates increased. At the time, schools, gyms, and workplaces closed.
Everybody has to have Chips Ahoy.
And people did spend a lot more time at home, near to their kitchen.
Why would people have more of an intake? Maybe because of the isolation, maybe because of depression. So all these challenges could have led to greater amounts of calories going in.
The study authors suggest the stress of job loss or added responsibilities for caregiving may have also played a role, and they think it's something that deserves more research. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Today marks 25 years since Canada's fourth deadliest tornado. On July 14, 2000, an F3 tornado hit the Green Acres Resort Campground in Pine Lake. The tornado killed 12 people and injured more than 100. The tornado touched down around 7 p.m. with 300-kilometer-an-hour winds lasting about half an hour. It destroyed homes, farms, and 400 campsites, causing an estimated $15 million in damage. A local concert pianist who became paralyzed and lost the ability to play has returned to the stage. Ricardo Baldini played 3 performances for Anime in Concert with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra at the Windspear last month. 6 years ago, Baldini woke up paralyzed from the chest down because of an undetected cluster of abnormal blood vessels that burst. Since then, he co-developed a tool called Resonate that allows him to control foot pedals using his mouth. Last month's concerts were the largest crowds Baldini has played in front of since Resonate was developed.
It's been a dream come true for me to being able to perform with a full symphony orchestra on stage after my injury. And it's a huge win for accessibility music and, equality of opportunity if you want, and having people with disability has the potential for also performing on stage.
Baldini says he hopes to showcase what he can do in other venues, including Carnegie Hall. The Edmonton International Street Performers Festival is reporting its best turnout since the pandemic.
My knees look like a soccer player.
100,000 people attended. They believe the nice weather was a big factor, and the future of the festival appears to be in a good place.
For our artists, they make money off of people paying them directly, and so the reputation of the festival is kind of contingent on having a lot of people come out so that the artists want to be here.
Now that Street Performers is wrapped, the square will be getting ready for Taste of Edmonton, which starts on Thursday. Still ahead, how an annual football camp has become a family affair in more ways than one.
Seeing my son out there making a difference in our community and our family means the world to me.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Edmonton's Chuba Hubbard held his annual youth football camp over the weekend. The NFL star says he wants to give local kids new opportunities. It's an experience equally special for his mom. Connor Hogg reports.
Everybody touch the bag, everybody touch the bag.
Can I headbutt my head on there?
No, you can't. That's going to hurt you.
Young football prospects descended on the Jasper Place Bowl Sunday morning for training camp. The camp is in its 3rd year, and it's run by Carolina Panthers running back and Edmonton native Chuba Hubbard. For Hubbard, it's an opportunity to give back.
Obviously, I was in their shoes at one point, and I didn't have these opportunities, and I realized, how far they go and the lengths they go. So it's a special moment.
Nice tackle. Yes. Tackling, passing, teamwork, and fitness drills, all on the curriculum. Other athletes from the NFL, CFL, and Division I coach the youngsters. While football is the focus, Hubbard hopes any lessons learned here lead to broader benefits.
Whether kids after this want to play football or not, I just want to give them the opportunity to have fun, be around other kids, compete, and also be around some great people. So I think if they just get something positive out of it, that's the most important thing.
Seeing my son out there making a difference in our community and our family means the world to me.
The camp is a family affair in more ways than one. Hubbard's mom, Candace, watches from the sidelines as her son gives others the opportunities she had to find for him.
No stress for the parents of, big costs of camps. It's very special. Words can't even describe. Every camp I tear up because it's just amazing to see how happy the parents and the children are and what a difference it makes.
A camp like this in Edmonton for free, a labor of love for the Hubbards.
Seeing how much fun they have and how much they appreciate it, it just humbles you.
Hubbard and his family plan to continue the training camps every year and also hope to expand them to other cities. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
That's nice to see. 9 degrees tomorrow morning, a little chilly to start. 22 tomorrow afternoon with lots of sunshine out there and light wind. Should be a fairly pleasant day tomorrow. A little windier for Wednesday, gusts 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. As we said earlier, we'll check back in on this tomorrow, but there might be a little bit of increased wildfire smoke through the afternoon hours on Wednesday. Low to maybe mid-20s, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Looks like 24, 25-ish is about as warm as it's going to get between now and about the 24th of July as temperatures just kind of settle in around or slightly below average for most of the next 2 days.
Thanks, Josh. We're out of time. Thanks for sharing yours with us. See ya.